AITA for not doing everything to help my parents afford treatments for my brother. When my brother AITA was 4 and I 60 and was 2, he was diagnosed with a blood cancer. He'd been sick for a little while and our parents thought he had a flu or something, so they didn't get him all the help right away, and because of that guilt they devoted every second to him from that point forward. It was supposed to be until he was cancer-free, but by the time he was, we were 8 and 6 and they had become so used to focusing on him alone. I spent most of my time with an uncle who lived nearby or neighbors when he was undergoing treatment. My uncle didn't like having me nearby and the neighbors were so busy with their own kids that I got pretty used to being ignored and forgotten. So when my brother was back home and I wasn't sent anywhere anymore, I was more used to being alone somewhere and taking care of myself. My relationship with my parents was never a close one, and it's the same with my brother. Both of us feel more like only kids, and he gave me shit before for telling our parents I'd like some of their attention too. They'd always tell me he needed it more and he considered me a drama queen. The last time I said anything, which was like 3 years ago, he said he didn't realize boys could be as dramatic as girls. My brother's cancer come back 5 years ago and it was dealt with early, and he didn't have treatment for very long, and after that he seemed better in all ways. He had more energy, appetite was better, and he was doing stuff he'd never had the energy to do before. About a year ago my mom's parents moved closer to us and they spent time focused on me, which bonded me to them pretty quickly. I spend a lot of time with them now. I also took my focus totally off my parents and wanting their attention. In July my brother's cancer returned again, but it's different this time. I wasn't given much info. Treatments are complicated, I guess, and some other countries have treatments we're not focused on yet, so there's talk of him going to Germany and I think Switzerland, but I could be wrong since I don't get much info. My parents are working more hours to help pay for this, and since then I spend even more time with my grandparents, sometimes spending the night with them. My lack of presence wasn't noticed until they wanted me to help raise the money and maybe offer to get tested if that's what's needed. They said I could start fundraisers and get a job. I already have one, but my parents never noticed. I told them I wasn't going to help with that and it was for the 3 of them to figure it out. I got yelled at and my grandparents stepped in and said I wasn't responsible for this. My parents were saying it was helping family, my own brother, and how could I consider not doing everything to help? AITA?